Mayor, you talk about all these sort of structural motivations for people to get to the ballot box.
Yes.
Do you sense that people in Atlantic City are motivated beyond simply voting against Donald Trump in terms of national politics? Do you think that people see a reason to be positive and favorable about the candidacy of Joe Biden?
Yes, it's crucial, and as well as other Senate and congressional seats, we need to pick up as many seats as possible because you see the games that are being played in Washington. My pet peeve for local people is when they vote only in presidential elections, and we tend to trend towards what's trending on social media. So you'll see on election day, everybody. Well, now it's different. You can't go to the polls, but traditionally on election day for presidents, you see people taking selfies in the booth and different things like that. That's important, but as Tip O'Neill said, all politics are local. It starts with the down ballot, where the constituency is much more affected of who their council, who their mayor, who their school board members are. But this is a major election, and like I said, we're promoting column B, and I'm very, very, very confident that the Democrats are going to come out on top.
What are you proudest of in terms of your own record, and what are you asking voters to remember in terms of your service to Atlantic City and why you want them to give you 4 years?
Well, this one is actually for
The remaining,
of Frank
got
Gilliam's
it.
term, because when I came in, it was just guaranteed until the general election is certified. So once I'm victorious, on November 3rd, I get sworn in again for the remaining year, and I will be the mayor until December 31st, 2021. I came in knowing what I was facing, that I had to win 5 elections in 18 months. We believe that the first 2 were the toughest hurdles. You don't have to ever worry about me letting my guard down. That's not how I operate. We're running a full campaign, but I think particularly with the change of government victory and the primary victory, I put myself in a really, really good position, not only for this election, but for next June's primary, which would be for the full 4-year term. Listen, no one has come in. I've been the mayor, and in 10 days, I've been the mayor for a year. We came in under the cloud of a federal investigation. We had to deal with the pandemic. We had to deal with the change of government election. We had to deal with the riots and looting during that, and we stood up tall. For the good people of Atlantic City. People have to understand. It's oftentimes where when the person's true character is the adverse situations, and we came in during a tough time, and I believe that we put confidence back in the mayor's office. We accomplished a lot of things that we said that we were going to do, and I have a proven track record. This last year, there was no drama coming out of the mayor's office, which I'm sure makes everyone happy, the residents, the state of New Jersey, and whatever, because we came in with a crystal clear plan, and we've been executing that strategy, and I've been the one that's been out there, and I believe that, and you never use the word deserve, I'm going to show the residents that I've earned the chance to finish the next full year, and then going into the full 4-year terms, give me the same opportunity as others had to get my platform across and make a difference in the city. We've in the pandemic, we delivered a 5.5% tax decrease, and we're projecting a 3-year tax decrease for the next 3 years, and we are very excited about the new department that we're bringing in, which is the Division of Health and Human Services, which is the Division of Youth, Recreation, Senior, and Multicultural Affairs. We brought diversity to City Hall, and we're just looking forward to things to open up, as much as normal as possible, so that way we can really implement all the things that we wanted to do. But I believe that I'm in a great position, and I think I made the residents of Atlantic City proud.
Mayor, I've been out to several Black Lives Matter protests, and there seems to be in this election a political temptation to pit the Black Lives Matter movement against the police. And as mayor, how have you handled that potential fracture, or that the appearance of division between those two groups?
It's simple, and I've often stated, and I thank God that we haven't had any unrest between our residents and the police department, such as officer involved shootings lately, because there's a phenomenon across the country, highly publicized events where African Americans are targeted. And as I stated, I'm a black man, and I feel for that. But at the same time, I want to be clear that the city of Atlantic City, Mayor Small, or anyone associated with us are not involved with any national Black Lives Matter platform. We're supporting the message. We're not against defunding the police. As a matter of fact, we need to get more police officers to make our community safer and do the types of things that we need, such as community policing, more foot patrol, and everything else. So we are with the message, and we have a Black Lives Matter mural. Matter of fact, we can go by there and you'll see. We have a Black Lives Matter mural, but as I stated, why just paint Black Lives Matter? You paint it on the ground, then what? The city has made a conscious effort under my leadership that starting next year, we're going to gather on the same block on Labor Day weekend on a Friday, and we will kick off a month's worth of activities, because I proclaim that September is going to be known as Black Lives Matter Month in the great city of Atlantic City.
Sir, the challenge of campaigning during a pandemic, you've already been through it. I remember seeing you out there with a mask and actually making that connection, that human connection. What's it like to be trying to generate support from people who are mostly voting via mail?
It's crazy, and I was in shock and disbelief that we didn't see the opposition out there at all during the pandemic, particularly in a change of government. That's the thing. We're going to do legally what others won't do, and that's go out there, socially distance, knock on doors, talk to people, and ironically, particularly in some of the senior buildings, they were just happy to see people. We trained our workers what to do: knock on the door, step back, wear your mask, and do things like that. So we're going to continue with the pandemic. Is still going on, and like I said, this is a big election from Joe Biden all the way down to myself, and we're going to make sure, as well as the school board election in Atlantic City, and we're going to make sure our candidates of choice are extremely successful.
What's been the biggest governing challenge during this pandemic, Mayor?
Just the uncertainty. We have to rely on our health experts, but nothing didn't shake me. We've performed pretty well. I'm proud of our record, considering that the great city of Atlantic City is a worldwide destination. To not even reach 500 cases of positive COVID, that's still 400 plus, too many. But the decisions that we made to keep our beach and boardwalk open, I think that had an effect that once people were allowed to come down here, the city has been busting at the seams. And of course, that's the gift and the curse, because outdoor dining generated more trash. We had several complaints. We've hired 30 extra seasonals and backfilled 7 full-time public works positions to deal with the trash and deal with everything that comes. But Atlantic City, I just can't wait to 2021. We're going to come back with the vengeance, but every weekend our boardwalk was crowded, the hotels were sold out. So that's a good sign. We want to get as much momentum as we can going into next year, because next year is going to be a pivotal year, and we look forward to it.
Let's say I'm a disaffected voter, and I look at the two parties and I say, well, they don't really do anything for me. I don't really see the Republicans or Democrats offering anything different or convincing me that I'm invested in the process in any meaningful way. With 41 days until election, what's your best argument for that type of voter, Mayor? Why should that person, in fact, believe that the Democratic Party is going to do something for him?
Well, here in the great city of Atlantic City, you have strong leadership at the top. I've come in with a plan. We have big ideas. One of the things that I often laughed about when I gave my State of the City in front of 1,200 people at Caesars Palladium Ballroom at the NBCA event, came out with all these plans: youth, the seniors, right sizing City Hall, diversity. And the biggest thing that got the biggest applause was when we put the slide up that said our goal was to demo Trump Plaza. And there's been a lot of political football at the state level, people wanting to get it done. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. But I'm just, proud that we were very aggressive. We took them to court. We negotiated. We couldn't come to an agreement. And you'll see when we go down there a little later, they're already starting, and on January 29th, the building will be imploded. And I'm getting all kind of messages on Twitter, people saying, can you move it up 9 days? Can you do it on the 20th? And I'm like, listen, we're going to yield to the demolition experts. And what I would like to do, and we're already talking to a couple of auction companies, I would like to auction off who presses the button, and all of those proceeds should go to